we're going to go to Christianity in the Bible, right? To show the blacks and Hispanics are worshiping the wrong God, the wrong religion. Give me 2 Corinthians 11, verse 3. Because Paul warned us about Christianity. Because Christianity, the new Christianity, has nothing to do with the followers of Christ. 11, verse 3.
2 Corinthians 11, verse 3.
The book of Corinthians is written by Paul. Read on.
But I fear, lest by any means...
Paul says, but I fear, lest by any means what?
As the serpent beguiled Eve.
As not the actual snake. Serpent just means a wicked, treacherous person. A person with forked tongue means he's willing to lie. Like snake, they have forked tongues. Or the Native American Indians, they call Caucasians forked tongue. Because they promise one thing, they'll say one thing, but say something else. As a what?
The serpent beguiled Eve.
As a serpent, meaning a treacherous and wicked person, beguiled Eve, meaning trick Eve during what? The book of Genesis in the Garden of Eden. You know what?
Eve through his subtlety.
Through his trickery, the serpent, meaning that wicked man, through his subtlety, his lies, tricked Eve in the garden. Read on.
So your mind should be corrupted.
So that your mind should not be corrupted. Read on.
From the simplicity that is in Christ.
Because it's easy to understand that Christ is a black man. Right. It's easy to understand that the Jews are black. When you read the Bible, it says Christ had woolly hair. His feet was of brass as if it burned in the furnace. But Christianity came with in slavery what? Christ is white. Worship him. So he says, lest any means I fear. So Paul is warning the true Israelites not to accept of this doctrine that's coming. Read on.
For if he that cometh.
For if he, now Paul is pinpointing a specific individual or a specific race of people. If he that what?
That cometh.
If this he that cometh to do what?
Preacheth another Jesus.
If he cometh and preacheth, meaning prophesy and documents another Jesus, when did this happen? During the Renaissance era. When they set up this man, Caesar Borgia, as the new Jesus Christ.
Borgia.
Yeah, Borgia, thank you. He knows him. He was the image of what? The new image of Christ. They painted him. But the Christ of the Bible says he was black. So if he does what?
If he that cometh preacheth another Jesus.
Because under the doctrine of Christianity, you have this image represented the whole religion. From that, Christianity extends the religion. Yeah, okay, Cesare Borgia, thank you. Read on.
Whom we have not preached.
Because the disciples never taught that Christ was white. They never even taught to celebrate Christmas. That's not in the Bible. Christmas is pagan idolatry. Easter is pagan idolatry. Mother Day is pagan idolatry. So all these things that Christianity represents is of ancient Babylon. So they preach another Jesus as well as what?
Or if you receive.
Or if you receive another what?
Another spirit.
Another spirit. Because the spirit that blacks has received is what? To speak low, monotone, don't get smile, a feminine and weak spirit. Because the Christ, this so-called image of Christ, what comes with this Christ? Oh, ye that labor, come to us. He speaks weak, soft, effeminate. He shaved his beard. It's another spirit, a weak, effeminate spirit. Because this guy, Cesare Borgia, was a homosexual. He slept with men, and he actually slept with his sister, Lucretia Borgia.
That's in that show.
Yes, it's in a show, The Borgias. Look it up on HBO. This guy was a homosexual, so guess what? After the spirit of Christianity comes what? The spirit of that, homosexuality. So that's why there's a lot of homosexuals in the Christian church, because they're after another spirit. Read that again.
Or if you receive.
Or if you receive or not.
Another spirit.
Another spirit. Our people have received another spirit, a weak spirit. Because black men, we're normally loud, robust. We come with power and authority. But Christianity says for the black man to be submissive to the woman, to be under the woman, to talk with your voice low, to smile all the time. But Christ, he talked loud, power, and authority. He was a man of austerity. He was serious. That's why we follow after Christ. That's the spirit of the Bible. But this spirit says, no, speak soft. That's another spirit, but read on.
Which ye have not received.
Which we have not received, because our forefathers never received the spirit of Christianity. Read on.
Or another gospel.
Or another gospel. Read on.
Which ye have not accepted.
Christianity is another gospel. It's not in the Bible. Now, okay, which we have not accepted. Now, you might say, okay, what holidays come up in December? Do you celebrate it? Is that, they say Christ was born December 25th, right? Give me the book of Jeremiah 10.
No one knows the real date, but you know,
Jer-
people pick the date just to celebrate.
No. Christmas is somebody's actual birthday. If you go back to ancient history, you ever heard of King Nimrod? King Nimrod was an Ethiopian king. This was 1,000 years ago. When you go to the book of Genesis, Nimrod came from the forefather in the lineage of Ham. And from Ham had a son named Cush. And Cush was Nimrod. December 25th is the birthday of King Nimrod. So that's where that doctrine comes from.
Actually, it was about the, you know, the winter solstice?
Yes, that's later on.
That used to be a tradition in
Yes,
Europe, and
yes.
then they said this is when Christ was.
Exactly. See, that came years after, but it originally extended from Nimrod.
I thought that was all about the
No, it wasn't always. Through years of time, people took that different day and put different titles on it.
Oh, okay.
So read that the book of Jeremiah 10 verse 1.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1.
Read it.
Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
So God is documenting who he's speaking to. Who is God speaking to?
O house of Israel.
House of Israel. Who's the Israelites? The blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indian. A Negroid descent, Indian descent. The people that were scattered through the 1619 transatlantic slave trade. 1492 conquest of Christopher Columbus. Anybody that was of the slave trade, guess what? You are the descendants of the 12 forefathers. Jacob, the American blacks. Benjamin, the West Indian blacks. Which your mother comes from. Levi, the Haitians, was a descendant of the Israelites. The Haitians. Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans. Manasseh, the so-called Cubans. Simeon, the so-called Dominicans. Zebulon, from Guatemala to Panama, the Mayans. The tribe of Gad, the Native American Indians. Reuben, the Seminole Indians. Asher, from Colombia to Uruguay, the Incas, the ancient Incas. Issachar, the Mexicans, the ancient Aztecas. Naphtali, from Argentina to Chile. Those are the biblical Israelites, and that's what we're bringing out. That's Bible history, and God is documented in the Holy Bible. So that's why we're bringing it out. Because people, you gotta understand, the Spirit of God is on us. God has given us a spirit to interpret the Bible. Because it was prophesied that we'll be enslaved. It was prophesied that we'll lose our nationality, and our heritage, and our culture. So now, we're in a time of the restoration, where God has returned the Spirit back to us. That's why we can go to the Bible and prove all things in the Bible. We can show World War III in the Bible. We can show slavery in the Bible. We can show how blacks and Hispanics came to this side in the world in the Bible. We can prove all things through the Bible. Now read Jeremiah 10 verse 1.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. That's what God says.
Thus saith the Lord.
Thus saith God. A command from God. Read on.
Learn not the way of the heathen.
Learn not the way of the heathen. What does heathen mean? Another nation. We learned the way of Christianity and slavery, did we not? We learned Islam and slavery when we were enslaved under Muslims. We learned Buddhism when we were enslaved under Chinese. But God says what?
Thus saith the Lord.
Learn what?
Learn not the way.
Learn not the ways, meaning the doctrines, the philosophies, the religions of who?
Of the heathen.
Of the other nations, because we had our laws that pertain to us. The Bible pertained to us. That was our historical documents. Our laws recorded in the Bible that we shall abide by. But we learned the way of the heathen, and we've been assimilated in American philosophy to the American culture system. Read on.
And be not dismayed.
And don't be confused. Dismayed means to be confused at what?
At the signs of heaven.
Don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven. You might see an asteroid go by, a meteor, some storms on the sun. God said, don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven. Because our people say, oh, planet Nibiru is coming to America, it's going to crash. An asteroid is going to destroy America. God said, don't be confused, because that's not how this place is going to be taken down. Read on.
For the heathen are dismayed.
The other nations are dismayed. I mean, they get confused when they see the sun have activity, or radioactive activity on the sun. When they see asteroids coming, meteors coming, they're confused, because they don't know the Bible. But we know it. We're not confused. We know what's going to happen to this place. Read on.
For the custom.
For the customs, meaning their custom, their traditions, read on.
Of the people are vain.
Their custom are vain. They're lies. They have nothing to do with Christ or the Bible. Read on.
For one cutteth a tree.
Now he's explaining one custom. One does what?
One cutteth a tree out of the forest.
One custom is one cutteth a tree out of the forest. Read on.
The work of the hands of the workman with the axe.
So the person that's cutting a tree has an axe. So you got to go in the forest and cut the tree with the axe. Read on.
They deck it with silver and with gold.
So on the tree, they deck it with silver and gold. Because what? They have exactly. Silver and gold, silver and gold. That's the song, right? You can look it up on YouTube. They deck it with silver and gold, God says. Read on.
They fasten it with nails.
They fasten it with nails. A Christmas tree stand. That's what God is talking about. Read on. Read on. Come on.
With hammers that it might move not.
With hammers that it move not. That's why you have the stand and the nails. You tighten up so it can be upright and it move not. Read on.
They are upright as the palm tree.
And in ancient Babylonian times, thousands of years ago, they used the palm tree. But today we use the pine tree. So they're upright as the palm tree. Read on.
But speak not.
It doesn't speak not because the history behind us celebrating Christmas is what? In ancient Babylon, when Nimrod was living during that time, he died. He was killed. It was said that Nimrod's spirit went up into the sun and he conquered the sun. And his spirit came down and conquered the tree. So people started fearing the tree and they started bringing gifts. That's where the gifts come from. They put the gifts under the tree. And the ornaments that hung for the tree, they used to be people's heads. They used to chop the heads off and put it on the tree. But now we put other different ornaments. So read on.
They must needs be born because they cannot go.
It must needs to be born, but they cannot go. So Christmas, is that of God or not? It's not. So that's another doctrine. Paul warned us about Christianity when it comes. Christ warned us what will happen. Read Matthew 24. Now let's get the prophecy that Christ spoke unto us. Because many of our people are ignorantly in Christianity. Because why? We don't know our true culture. We don't know who we are. So if you don't know who you are, like Malcolm said, a man that stands for nothing will accept anything. So our people stands for nothing because the only thing we know is slavery. Listen to Christ in Matthew 24, verse 24.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 24.
Let's start at verse 3.
Verse 3.
Uh-huh.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives,
This is Christ speaking. Read on.
the disciples came upon him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming?
What shall be the sign of Christ making himself manifest on this earth again? Christ is returning. He's coming for the Israelites. I'm telling you right now. Our time of being slaves in America is going back. Just like the song, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, coming forth to carry us home. Those so-called UFOs you see in the sky, those are not aliens. Those are the instruments of the angels. Those are where the angels are abiding in. Those are the angels of God. And they're going to swing low and carry us back to our homeland, Jerusalem. That's documented in the Bible. But that's another topic. Read on.
And of the end of the world.
And the end of the world. So the earth is not going to blow up. People don't understand what the end of the world means. Let's get the book of Ecclesiastes, 2nd Ezra 6, verse 9. So he said, when should the end of the world come? And give me Ecclesiastes 1, verse 4. Because a lot of people think that the earth is going to go away. It's going to blow up because of the atmosphere, the greenhouse effect, because of the environment is polluted. But the world's not going to end. God tells us these things. The book of Ecclesiastes 1, verse 4. Give me Ecclesiastes 1, verse 4. Exactly the Song of Solomon.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 4.
Who's speaking? Solomon, the preacher. Solomon was who? A black man, according to the Bible. Read it.
One generation passeth away.
So one generation passeth away, Solomon's saying. Read on.
And another generation cometh.
And another generation cometh after that generation. Read on.
But the earth, the planet Earth, abide what? Abideth forever.
The earth is always going to be around on this earth. The earth abideth forever. So when is the last days? What does the end of the world mean according to the Bible? Give me 2nd Ezra 6, verse 9. This is what the end of the world means according to the Holy Bible. Read that.
2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau,
read on,
is the end of the world.
Verse 7.
Verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time?
When shall be the parting, meaning the separation of times? Read on.
Or when shall the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
When shall be the end of the first? Because this is going over the biblical history of Jacob and Esau. Esau was born first. So that meaning in Genesis 25. Does anybody remember the history of Isaac? Remember the history of Isaac? What about Isaac? Isaac. So Isaac had two sons, Esau and Jacob. So this is that history meant something for these times that we're living in. Read on.
And he said unto me,
And he said unto Ezra, a prophet, the Ezra will be from the tribe of Levi. Ezra will be considered a Haitian in modern times. Ezra came from the Levites. The people of Haitian descent, you are the Levites. You come from Moses. You come from Judas Maccabees. You come from Ezra. That's your lineage. Read on. Read on.
from Abraham unto Isaac,
From Abraham, a Hebrew, unto Isaac, another Hebrew. Read on.
when Jacob and Esau were
So the
born.
history in Genesis 25, verse 25. When what?
When Jacob and Esau
When Jacob and Esau, read on,
were born of him.
were born of Rebekah, Jacob and Esau. Esau was the forefather of all Caucasian people on this earth. Anybody of European descent, you are from the forefather of Esau. Bible facts. Historical facts. We got the books and we can bring it out anytime. Read on.
Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
So during the history, Jacob, it was fraternal twins. When Jacob came out the womb of Rebekah, Esau came first. Esau came out as a red man, a Caucasian man. So Jacob, a brown man, took hold the heel of Esau. So it's two twins. He was like this. Where you going? Read on.
For Esau is the end of the world.
Esau is the end of the world. What does that mean? Because the Caucasian is in rulership right now. Meaning America is the last ruling empire on the earth. Because people say China is going to be the next people ruling.
But we're a melting pot. We have a black president. We're not an all-white.
He's not.
I like
He's
the
not.
fact that we
Remember,
are mixed
Obama.
racial.
Now Obama, he's Hamitic
That's
descent.
the beautiful thing
He's
about
not.
this country. We're not
wait.
all white.
Obama is not an Israelite. Obama is an African. The Israelites, the blacks, the people on the side have no relation to Obama. He's a Hamite. He's one of the people that sold our ancestors into slavery. He has nothing to do with black people. Facts. Read on.
For Esau is the end of the world.
And Caucasian ruling the earth is the end of the world. Meaning it's the end of the rulership, the end of the empire. America is the last ruling empire on this earth. China's not next. Iran is not next. They're not the next superpower. But who is?
And Jacob
And Jacob, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel is what?
is the beginning
It's
of
the
it.
beginning of the new empire. The new rulership on the world will be governed by the 12 tribes of Israel. So the new people in rulership is going to be us. The people on the side, the 144,000 that God has set up. You heard about the 144, right?
Yeah.
Let's get that. Revelations 7 verse 4. So this is Bible prophecy. So you might look at blacks. A lot of people look at blacks and the Spanish Native American Indians as no good niggas. It's I can see why, because we dress with our pants below our butt. A woman on BT shaking it behind, sexing around, aborting the babies, acting a fool, sleep around with many men. Our men sleep around many women. Hip hop, Lil Wayne, Jay-Z, wearing skirts. So we look like niggas in people's face. We look like fools. But what's happening right now? God has put a spirit on the earth for us to return and not look like fools. We're in a prophecy. That's why we used to do the things, all those things, but what? Once we learned that we're Israelites, we knew that what? There's laws that the Israelites might abide by. Laws that we were breaking for many years. And we must learn again to come back to that rule, that power. Then we can rule this earth. The God can't take blacks, because if we put us to rule, what will we have? Chaos, abortion. Can't put us. But we gotta reform our mind. Read that.
Revelation chapter 7 verse 4.
Uh-huh.
And I heard the number of them which were sealed.
God says, angel says, I heard the number of them which were sealed. Read on.
And there were sealed 144,000.
That's the government that's going to be set up. 12,000 people of the American blacks. 12,000 of all these tribes are going to rule this earth. And the women and the children and the rest of the men are going to be under that rulership, with Christ being our king. Read on.
Of all the tribes.
Of who?
Of the children of Israel.
All the tribes of the children of Israel. So we're the next in rulership. Read on.
Of the tribe of Judah.
Of the Judah, the American blacks are going to rule. Black people will rule this earth once again. Read on.
Were sealed 12,000.
12,000 are going to be sealed of them. Read on.
Of the tribe of Reuben.
Of Reuben. Read on.
Were sealed
The
12,000.
Seminole Indians will rule this earth once more. Read on.
Of the tribe of Gad.
Of Gad, the Native American Indians will do what?
Were sealed 12,000.
And it goes on and on. So let's get back to Matthew 24 and get verse 24. Now, Christ said what? Gather yourselves, what shall befall you in the last days. So we are in the last days. We've been deceived. We've been lied and tricked to. Christianity is not our religion. It has nothing to do with us. Who are we? We don't have a religion. We have a nationality and we have laws behind that. You get that?
Matthew chapter 24.
Verse 24. Read.
Verse 24.
Uh-huh.
For there shall arise
There shall arise what?
false Christ.
False Christ. False Christ. this is a false Christ. Because the original, read on.
And false prophets.
And false prophets, because the false prophets are saying that what? Christianity is of God. A false prophet said, what? We could celebrate Christmas. You can eat pork. You can celebrate Thanksgiving. New Year's is on January 1st. Acts 11, verse 19. Verse, yeah. Give me Acts 11, verse 16. So, anybody has any questions? So, we're explaining with Christianity. Because the real Christian are what? Read that.
Acts chapter 11, verse 16. Then remembered I the word of the Lord, how that he said, John indeed baptized with water.
26. 26.
11, verse 26?
Yeah, verse 19. Acts 11, verse 19. That's what I asked for.
Acts 11, verse 19. Now they which were scattered abroad among the persecution that arose about Cephas, traveled as far as Phoenice and Cyrene and Antioch, preaching the word to none but unto the Jews only.
So they were preaching none but the Jews only, right? Now verse 26. It's going to show what were the Jews being called. Read on.
Verse 26. And when he had found him, he brought him unto Antioch. And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people. And the disciples were called Christians.
The disciples, which were Jews, were called what?
Were called Christians first in Antioch.
So the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch.
That's
So
right.
the Christians were Jews. What
That's
color were
right.
the Jews? Jeremiah 14, verse 2. Read it.
Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourning.
Judah, the true Jews, are in mourning. Why? If you look at blacks today, we're Section 8, welfare, EBT, we're the last hire. First fires, last hire. We're always voting for rights, affirmative action, equality. The civil rights movement was what? To be recognized as a civilian of the United States. We're always in mourning. A person gets shot on the ground. We want no freedom, no justice, no peace. Judah, what?
Judah mourning.
Judah, the real Jews are in mourning, but what?
And the gates thereof language.
And the gates, meaning our leadership, are not leading us the right way. They're destitute of knowledge. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, they're only exploiting our people. All the black leaders today are about money, money, money.
That's right.
They're not about our people. They're not about the what? Uplifting of our people. Read on.
They are black.
The Jews are what?
They are black.
The Jews are what?
They are black.
God says the Jews are black unto the what?
Unto the ground.
Why does he say the Jews are black unto the ground? Genesis 2, verse 7. So the real Jews are black unto the ground. So you got to ask yourself, why does it say black unto the ground? Genesis 2, verse 7.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
So God formed man of the dust of the ground. What color is the ground? Brown. So he said black unto the ground because if you look at black people, we're different shades of brown. And the ground, the deeper you go into the soil, the darker it gets. So he said they are black unto the ground, showing that the Jews will be different shades of brown. And Adam, the first man, is a black man. So Christianity, like for example, you go to church on what day? What day is the Sabbath? What are you? Seventh-day Adventist. See how black we're in all types of religion? Well, how do we get into all types of religion? We gotta ask ourselves. Do what? When do we learn Seventh-day Adventist? What religion are you? Christianity, right? What religion are you? When did we learn Christianity? Huh? No, when did blacks learn to be Christians?
White man come on the back. Oh,
Let's see, it's in the Bible. You ever heard about slavery? You guys know about slavery? What was forced upon us in slavery? The Bible. But this is the thing about the Bible. Give me Isaiah 29, verse 13. Now, we originally knew what the Bible was talking about. It's talking about us. The Bible was reintroduced to us in slavery. And they reintroduced it to us as under a different banner.
Right.
Under the banner of Christianity. Because in the Bible, Christ was a white. In the Bible, the Jews aren't white. In the Bible, we don't celebrate on a Sunday. In the Bible, we don't celebrate Christmas, Thanksgiving. All these holidays that you celebrate, birthdays in America, that is of the devil. You're actually worshiping Satan.
That's right.
I'm gonna get straight to the point. That's what it's two sides. It's not three sides of the coin. It's two sides of the coins. God's laws, Satan's laws. There's no in between. So if you're not keeping the laws of God, what laws are you keeping? Who are you worshiping? You might see Nicki Minaj and Lil Wayne and Jay-Z throwing up. You say, oh, the Illuminati, the devil worshippers. Guess what? This whole earth is worshiping the devil.
That's right.
The whole earth is worshiping the devil.
That's right.
It's two sides of the coin. Read that, whatever.
Isaiah chapter 29, verse 13. Wherefore the Lord said,
Wherefore the Lord said, read on.
for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth, and with their lips do honor me.
So God says, as much as this people, the Israelites, draw near me with their mouth, read on.
But have,
And their lips do honor me. They said, I love Jesus. Oh, thank God. Read on.
but have removed their heart
But have removed their heart. Their heart is their mind. Have removed their mind far from what?
from me,
Far from God. Our mind is removed from God's laws. Read on.
and their fear toward me
And their fear towards God is taught by what?
is taught by the precept of men.
What man taught us how to fear God? Were we not taught in slavery how to fear God? Did we not learn Seventh-day Adventists in slavery? Were we Christianity? Did we know Christianity before we were slaves? No. Came from Europeans. So we're being taught by the precept of men. That's Bible prophecy, because God has what? God said it in the Bible that this will happen. The book of Deuteronomy 28 is a documentation of our slavery, our slave trade. Let's get that in the Bible. Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. Read it.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
So the book of Deuteronomy. Who's Moses' book of Deuteronomy? Deuteronomy is after the Exodus, when Moses took us out of Egypt. And let me ask you guys a question. How long were we enslaved in America for? Huh? Yeah, about, what does Malcolm say? Remember he said we were slaves for how long? About 400 years. You ever heard that? You guys ever heard that before? Never heard that? Well, Malcolm speaks about it. Leave Genesis 15:13 and we're on. Read that, book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
So Moses is speaking to the Israelites in the book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. Read on.
If thou wilt not hearken.
So Moses says, it shall come to pass. If something's going to come to pass, what tense is that? Is that past tense, present, or future? It's future, right? So obviously Moses ain't gonna be you. It's not gonna sting you. We control these bugs. You guys are like shoes. You go home. All right, read that again from the top.
But it shall come to pass.
So Moses, also a black man. Did you know Moses was black?
Yeah.
Huh? Yes, they were all black. Just like you. You're not you're American black, right? Huh? Oh, you come from the tribe of Benjamin. Paul was from the tribe of Benjamin. Paul would be considered a West Indian to the standard. So you descend from the lineage of Paul. King Saul, you know. I come from the tribe of Judah. I come from the same tribe Christ comes from. I came from the same tribe of King David and King Solomon. So I'm from that lineage. And you're from what again? Okay. Oh, what is your dad? Oh, so you come from royalty. See, we all come from royalty. This is our true nationality. I'm going to show you we come from royalty. Read on. It shall what?
It shall come to pass.
It shall come to pass. Moses is talking about it's going to come in the future. It shall come to pass that what?
If thou wilt not hearken.
If you Israelites will not hearken, you blacks and Hispanics will not listen to what?
Unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If we didn't obey God's voice, then what?
To observe to do all his commandments.
Because there was more than 10 commandments. I'll bring one commandment up to today's standards. Give me Deuteronomy 22, verse 5. I'm going to get that right back.
Bring it out.
Watch this. Watch this. This is what's going to happen. You're going to bring this scripture up? You're like, no, I'm going to do my own way. No, it's going to be my way. That's not what God says. America says it. Watch.
Deuteronomy
See
chapter
if you can take this. Read it.
chapter 22, verse 5.
This was one of the commandments we were supposed to abide by that pertains to women. Read on.
The woman shall not wear.
So it's talking about the woman shall not wear. That's talking about what? A clothing article, right? Shall not wear what?
That which pertaineth.
That which belongeth unto what?
Unto a man.
What is what? Wow. Women are not supposed to wear pants. Why? Because pants put a spirit on a woman.
Right.
Pants did not come into existence until the women's feminist movement. Actually started in the 1940s with the World War II, when the women had to work, go into the factories. They had dresses, so they didn't want the dresses to go up to the machines. So through that time period, the feminist movement said what? He's the head of the house, we can be the head of the house. We could be equality. We could be the same as the man. So they started wearing pants. But what? Pants puts a manly spirit on our women.
That's right.
Like Jewish women wear skirts?
Yes. They take it from our laws. But at one point, everybody wore dresses. Pants is a new thing on the earth. It puts a spirit. Huh? No, this is called a garment.
I did.
No, dresses. Robes. Like this. Our forefathers wore this. Get the book, icon. We're going to show you what our forefathers wore. King David and all that. Really. Listen, Christianity is of the devil.
That's right.
Take that out of your mind. But get what it says, show Solomon. You in all these churches and stuff like that, you got to come out of it. Because they're not teaching you, you're going to die in these churches. I'm just showing you straight up. It's going to happen. John baptized, but Christ didn't. He got baptized in the doctrine of devils.
But Christ baptized John.
No, he didn't.
It says it in the Bible.
Are you sure?
It does. It says
John 4
Christ-
verse 1.
Jesus baptized.
No.
Bring it out.
John 4 verse 1.
You mean
John 4.
We're going to get that, then we're going right back to what we're talking about, okay? Just show you real quick. Get that.
John 4, verse 1.
Yeah, I'm the president.
John 4 verse 1.
Verse 1.
Give her a fire. Give her a fire.
My voice is gone.
John 4 1. Yeah, he's the president. Read that.
John 4, verse 1. When therefore the Lord knew how the Pharisees had heard that Jesus made and baptized more disciples than John, though Jesus himself baptized not, but his disciples.
Wait, Jesus did what?
Though Jesus himself baptized not.
Jesus did it. Jesus baptized John? What did it say? Jesus did what?
Though Jesus himself baptized not.
Christ said it baptized. No. He said, just said he didn't. That's Christianity. You're in a.
Same Bible. I read
I know, but it's the same Bible, but a different doctrine.
That's right.
You're in a different doctrine. Your doctrine is not of the Bible. You're in false traditions. We're trying to bring out everything that you learn to this day has been lies. Yeah, go ahead.
Read that again. I'm gonna show you what the church did, right? Read that.
John chapter 4, verse 2. Though Jesus himself baptized not.
The church did this. I know Jesus didn't baptize nobody, but that's what they do. The Lord said and you all mesmerized. He moving around and the women like, oh my God, he's a man of God, right? Read that again. I'm gonna show you this.
Though Jesus himself baptized not.
So we don't have, the Bible is basically saying, if Christ didn't baptize, we don't have to baptize nobody.
That's right.
But the church said, be baptized. If you don't be baptized, you ain't gonna go to heaven. For an example, if I'm a homosexual, right, and you baptize me, I'm still what? Am I gonna make it to God's kingdom? No. So the baptism is symbolic of changing your mind. That's all it meant. That's all it was. That's all it was talking about.
I thought so too, cause like I still be sending my stuff, so I'm like, what is the point of doing that? I'm still.
Well, I have an older cousin. He said, "Look, man, you don't gotta teach me." He said, "You know, my older cousin." He go, "You don't gotta teach me that Bible, man. I'm already saved." He went, "Saved already, boy." That's what he told me. So we can't. That's how. But that's the church. The church say that. I'm gonna tell you real
So why
quick.
do we have to baptize Jesus?
The word baptism actually means teaching. That's all it means. Real quick. You know what that's speaking of 1 Corinthians? Give me that. 1 Corinthians chapter 1.
15. Paul?
Yes.
Yeah, 15.
Verse 15. Listen good.
1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 15.
Listen what the Apostle Paul said.
Lest any should say that I had baptized in my own name.
Okay?
And I baptized also the household of Stephanus.
So Paul is letting us know what happened during the time of Acts. Come on.
Besides, I know not whether I baptized any other.
Read on.
For Christ sent me not.
Hold on. Listen to what Jesus said.
For Christ sent me not to baptize.
Wait a minute. Christ told them not to baptize. So baptism is just pagan tradition. I'm gonna tell you what happened in slavery. In slavery, white men threw us in the water. That's what happened. And we took the tradition and we follow it to this day. For an example, he was going over earlier. In slavery, if we did not worship this, we died. That's historical. If we did not worship this, ladies and gentlemen, we died.
That's right.
And if they killed us if we didn't worship us. Some of us that said, I'm not worshiping that, I have my God. They said, what? Dead. Like for an example.
So who do you worship?
We worship Christ. Read that again.
For
Give me Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 12. Listen real good. Because there was a Hispanic brother we was teaching last Thursday, and he said he did not know that his ancestors were enslaved. Now, the reason why a lot of they don't know that because in school they don't teach it, and they don't even teach Black history in school. They teach us more of the Holocaust in school. They make us go to field trips. They make us write 5-page essays about Adolf Hitler and Anne Frank. But every time we learn about Black history, it's a hurry up.
about it.
It's one paragraph. So listen good. Habakkuk 2:12.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood.
Woe to him. Woe means destruction. Death. Woe to him.
That buildeth a town with blood.
America was built by bloodshed, genocide, massacre. For an example, they teach us in school that this is a good picture. Now, this is a picture of the Caucasians, the Pilgrims or the Puritans attacking the Native American people. Now, they teach us in school, contrary to a popular belief, they say the Native Americans gave gifts to and they sold Manhattan for 15 beads.
Yeah.
Now, an idiot can only believe that. A lunatic can only believe that.
But I thought they didn't know any better.
No. This is what happened. This is what happened. Look at that picture. Yeah. So, what happened is, we were like, wait a minute, who are these dudes? Because the scripture says we would not know them that would attack us. Because we're not the same people. They conquered them, enslaved them, and taught us this. Some of us that was here died.
Right here.
Right. Right. For example, here it is.
Right here.
Right. Look at this.
What do you have in hand?
What do they have in his hand? That's the Jesuit priest. The word Jesuit priest means the crafty priest. And they put the cross. They tied this. His name was Atahualpa. Yes.
Yeah, Atahualpa.
They had him tied up to a stake like this, and they said, "Will you be baptized in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit?" And then he goes, and he says, "If you do, you will be in heaven." So the guy goes, Atahualpa, he goes, "Well, I'm going to hell then, because I don't want to believe that madness." That's what he said. And they killed him. Bam! Killed him. And we have this around our necks, talking about, I love Jesus. But they forced this on our people. We got the Jesus piece and the rosary beads.
And him and the necklace.
Right, on the white man on our necklace. And they conquered these people. Look at this one. Look at this picture, what the Spaniards did to the natives. He has a little baby in his hand, and he's smashing it against the stones. Can you imagine? You guys had any infants? Can you imagine them taking your kid away from you and smashing them against the stone? You can't even imagine it. That's like so far from our imagination. But this is what happened. They will never show movies like this at all. Matter of fact, they had a movie called Apocalypto. Y'all seen that? Mel Gibson. Now, in Apocalypto, they show you the Native Americans butt naked. That's not true. They were not butt naked. These were noble people. The reason why they were butt naked is because they was captured and the white men took all their clothes off. Because when you read this, because look how he's dressed.
So what did they wear?
Look how he's dressed. Look,
I thought they wore like
this is what they were
animal fur
wearing.
and stuff.
This is what they were wearing. Garments, fringes on the border. Look, he got clothes on. That's an American Indian. But they show us in school that they were savages, butt naked, bones to the nose. No. Now I'm gonna show you what happened. In this book, in this one, you see this guy getting his arm chopped off because they didn't want to believe in that. And they stole all the gold, they stole all the diamonds, they stole all the jewels. Stole it. That's why America and all the European nations are very wealthy, because they stole all of our resources, every last one of it. But the reason why that happened is because God allowed that to happen, because we as a people broke God's commandments. We say, you know what, Moses, to hell with that Bible. We ain't gonna do it. And God says, oh, you don't want to do that? This is the result. That was a spiritual butt whooping. That's what we got, a butt whooping. God gave us a butt whooping. So read that again.
Habakkuk chapter 1.
Now this is Habakkuk chapter 2, prophesying about what will happen to the Israelites in the last days.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood.
So how was America built? By what?
With blood.
By voting?
With blood.
By peace?
With blood.
By ambassador negotiations?
A town with blood.
So this town with blood. They were massacred. They had genocide committed against them. The word genocide means another race exterminating another race. That's what was going on. That's why if you look at today, you can barely see Native Americans now.
Right.
Some of y'all might be Native American, but you don't know. A lot of them were killed. You had the Algonquian Indians murdered to death. They was in Manhattan and northern parts of America. You had the Iroquois, you had the Cherokee, you had the Choctaw, the Chickasaw, the Creek, the Seminole. All right, all of those were the 5 civilized tribes of Native Americans, and all of them were put to death. Every last one of them.
Habakkuk
So
chapter
God
2.
is letting us know there's a punishment for them for doing that. Read on.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 12.
Right.
Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood,
Go
and
ahead.
establish a city by iniquity.
And they established a city in America by iniquity. The word iniquity means sin. For an example, when the Pilgrims came, because the Pilgrims believed, and the Puritans, they believed they were God sent. And for them to take America, these are the laws they broke. Thou shalt not kill. They broke that law. They had the Bible in their hand. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. They stole the country. Thou shalt not commit adultery. They raped all the women. Most of the women they raped. That's why a lot of Hispanics today are lighter skinned, because of the mixing of the Spaniards. Thou shalt not covet that which is not yours. That's what they did. They took the country. You understand that? So they took it by force, by violence. Read on.
Behold, it is not the Lord of hosts that the people shall labor in the very fire.
Come on.
And the people shall weary themselves for very vanity.
So now go to Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 33. So that was in the 1492, the conquest of the tribes. 1492, that's what that was talking about. Now, when we jump into time now, further, you had something 1619. That was when the blacks started to be made slaves. Read that.
Jeremiah 17 verse 4.
50 and 33.
50 verse 33.
Listen good.
Thus saith the Lord
What's
of
your
hosts.
nationality? Haitian. What's your nationality? Haitian. Greek. Black. Jamaican. Now, we're all the same people. We all do different things. Well, it's obvious he's not black. But my point is, when we're asked all the blacks the nationality,
They want to give it to
we gave different answers. You ask some black folks, oh, I got a little bit of Native American.
I'm white.
I got Cuban in me, I got Irish, I got Italian in me, because we just don't want to be called black, plain and simple. We hate it. It's all in our psyche, in our mentality. Read that again?
Jeremiah 50 verse 33.
Now this is another prophecy that happened.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel.
The children of Israel is talking about these tribes here. Children of Israel, Ephraim all the way down. Come on, Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, Zebulun, Gad, Reuben, Asher, Issachar, Naphtali. Read on.
And the children of Judah
And the children of Judah is Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Read on.
were oppressed together.
They were what?
Oppressed together.
These all 12 tribes were oppressed together. That's why we was in slavery around the same time. From 1492. So basically the Hispanics and Native Americans were in slavery for about over 500 years. The blacks was over 400 years. So read that again.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
Read on.
And all that took them captives
All that took them, who took us captive? The Greeks, the Romans, the Spanish, the Italian. Who was another one? The Dutch, the British, the Portuguese, because the Portuguese took over Brazil. He was another one. His name was Francisco Pizarro. He took over Brazil. You had Hernan Cortez. You had Ponce.
Velasquez.
What was his name?
Diego Velasquez.
Diego Velasquez. You had Ponce de Leon. And you had the most infamous, the most notorious, Christopher Columbus.
That's right.
Come on.
and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
And they refused to let the Israelites go. Meaning we was in slavery for a very long time. That's why we were in slavery so long that it brainwashed us to who we are to today. That's why some of us, because back then you had Malcolm X, when he used to speak, he said there was something called a house nigger and a field nigger. Excuse my language, but this is reality. So the field nigga did not want to be with the slave master. He wanted to run. He wanted to rebel. House nigga said, no. Let's live here. This is our land. We love this place. So when the field niggas tried to run, house niggas would snitch on them. They would tell, like who was it? Gabriel Prosser and Denmark Vest. They all got snitched on by house niggas. Nat Turner, all right? So we don't like Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman, for an example, she had a shotgun with them. You know why? Because there was some house niggas amongst them.
You know who she killed?
She killed her own husband.
Yeah.
Killed her own husband because he wanted to go back to slavery.
Wait. Why would they tell to get in the good graces of the?
Yes. For instance, you never seen Roots?
No.
Okay. Have you ever seen Django?
Jamie Foxx.
Well, Jamie, did you see Django? Remember Samuel L. Jackson's character when he was like, "I miss you," like a nanny miss his child and all of that. He was deriding the slave master basically. That's what was going on, and everything he did, he was like his watchdog. Everything the slaves did, he reported to the slave master. And every time he did good, the slave master would reward him with gifts. He gave them the better food. He gave them the good part of the pig, because the Bible says we're not supposed to eat pork. Uh-oh. Damn. Bacon, egg, and cheese in the morning. Hold on, give me that. Leviticus 11:7. Sausage, egg, and cheese, bacon, egg, and cheese. I go to Checkers and get the BLT. So listen good.
Leviticus chapter 11, verse 7.
Listen what Bible says. Listen.
And the swine.
And the what?
And the swine.
What are the swine? Swine is the pig. Swine is the pork, the ham, the bacon, the pork chop, the chitlin. Come on.
Though,
the chitlins is pig intestines. Come on.
though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you.
So according to the Bible, swine is unclean. So if God says, as Israelites, the swine is forbidden to eat.
That's right.
Give me verse 10.
Verse 10. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas.
Now, the fishes in the ocean that don't have fins and scales. What doesn't have fins and scales?
Shrimp, lobster,
Crab, oysters, clam. Y'all eat that at Red Lobster. Some of y'all got boyfriends, and the first thing I tell them to take y'all is the Red Lobster. So you know,
And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
abomination means filthy, nasty. That's what it means. So all that's in the waters that does not have fins and scales. For an example, what has fins and scales? You got certain fish, like porgy, whitings, you have a snapper. You have certain animals in the waters that we can eat. But those that don't have fins and scales, God says you could not eat it. That's what the Bible says. Yes, sir.
Why does God say not to eat fish and unclean things that like the pig? Why does God say not to eat the pig, or the like lobster, shrimp, crabs?
They're dirty. They eat like.
What do they eat?
At the bottom feeders.
They eat shit.
Garbage.
Exactly. So now if those animals were taken out of the water from doing their original job, the ocean would be what? Dirty. It would be muddy. That's why the fish are the original size. Because what they're doing is they're taking all those bottom feeders out the ocean, and with the things that's supposed to clean the ocean, it's not doing its job.
Right.
And we're putting that in your body. Would you put water in an engine? No. Why? It's not going to run right. So why would you put something that doesn't belong in your body? You're not going to run right. That's why we got gout, heart, high cholesterol, diseases, diabetes, because you're putting things that doesn't belong. You're eating doo-doo.
Right.
Would you eat a roach?
Basically.
Yeah.
Right. Crabs are the water roaches of the water. Crustaceans, that's what it's called. For example, you ever seen that movie Soul Food? Big Mama got her leg cut off because she was eating all that unclean food, eating too much. The Bible talks about how you can eat your diet. When you read the sin of gluttony, for example, that's people that just eat all the time. Eat, and they be 300 pounds, 400 pounds. Now, I'm not against people that's overweight. We're just saying that the way they're eating is the reason why we keep getting sick, the reason why we're getting headaches all the time, because getting all these vaccinations, all of that is because of the foods that we're eating. We're not eating healthy. So read that again.
Leviticus chapter 11, verse 10. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
So all of that, the word abomination is nasty, filthy, disgusting. God says don't eat it. Period. So now, give me another one. Give me Deuteronomy 28:61. Now here's the prophecy. Not all day, all year. Now listen, Deuteronomy 28:61.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 61.
What I mean is this: we study all praise to the Most High. We really try to enlighten our people, the ways how to live, how to conduct themselves. But earlier today, y'all wasn't here with all the madness. We had a brother that went to fight us. Hey, look, you shot. Listen, we already know what the game is. Christ said when he taught, they attacked him. They wanted to fight him. They cursed him. The scripture says, blessed are you when men curse you. So it's a blessing. Keep cursing me out.
That's right.
Come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 61. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law.
Every sickness that is not written in the Bible. What's written in the Bible? What's sicknesses today that's not written in the scriptures? AIDS, herpes, gonorrhea, all of that. Those are diseases that are that plague our people. Who number one in AIDS? Black people. Who number one in all these diseases? Black people. So that's why, give me Exodus 20, verse 14. Because the reason why a lot of our people have these diseases is one, they're not eating right. Another one is living a promiscuous lifestyle, committing adultery. So good.
Exodus chapter 20,
You know where it's at.
verse 14.
Yes.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
What is adultery? Now give me Leviticus 20 and 13. What is adultery? Having sex when you're not married? No. Cheating on your spouse. Right. So if a woman, because you got a lot of side pieces out here, you got a lot of side chicks, you got a lot of women that cheat on their man. And what happens when...
And vice versa.
Oh, I know. Hey. Women that cheat on their man, you got men that cheat. We know men are dogs. We know that. We know you got a, let's say you got a boyfriend, and he talking about he loves you, baby, you my world, blah, 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 blah. And then he might have sex with that woman 5 minutes later after that conversation. So we already know how the men and we know how the women are too, because we all know the game. We were not born like this. We know the game. So read that.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 14. Thou shalt not commit adultery.
So the Bible says, thou shalt not commit adultery. What is adultery? Like she said, going outside of your marriage, when you're cheating on your spouse. Let's say, like a lot of men. Give me Leviticus 20:13. Now listen to what this says, because this is not in the 10 Commandments. Leviticus 20, verse 13.
Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind,
if a man lies with another man,
as he lieth with a woman.
So the same way he's lying with a woman, he lies with that man. Okay?
Both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death.
What is that talking about? Homosexuality. Now a lot of people, that's a touchy subject. That is like so touchy. But the Bible said we got to teach everything.
That's right.
Prove all things. So God is saying, back in the Old Testament, if a man had sex with another man, he got put to death. What happened was, let's say they got caught, the men were like, look, they're having sex with each other. So all the men are the elders of the city. Can you imagine rocks? Everything's bam, until you die. That was the judgment for homosexuals. That was also the judgment for adultery.
That's right.
That was also the same judgment for murder. You understand? So that again? Meaning, for example, some of y'all got parents. If you cursed out your father, you cursed out your mother, you die. So that's why Christ came to give everybody forgiveness to repent. That was the point. Because we all would have been dead. Come on.
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind, as he lies with the woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death.
They shall surely be put. So that was the judgment for homosexuality. That was the judgment. So now give me Romans 1:26. So if it was a woman committing lesbian acts, for an example, look at that. Because everybody now is bi-curious. We know what happens at the pajama parties. Even if you playing around, God said don't play like that.
Right.
You understand? Come on.
Romans chapter 1, verse 26. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections.
Vile affections. Vile affection means abomination affection, meaning nasty emotions. Come on.
For even their women
Women, now God has took this New Testament now. The women,
did change the natural use.
and so now you got women that change the natural use. They said, you know what? I don't want a man no more. A man is not satisfying for me. I want to go opposite of that sex and deal with a female. Come on.
Into that which is against nature.
So what is God saying? It's against nature. Come on.
And likewise also the men,
Now, he said, wait a minute, the men did the same thing.
leaving the natural use of the woman.
And they said, you know what? I don't want a woman no more. As beautiful as women are, he said, I don't want no woman. I want a 250-pound man to bend my back over. That's what's in his mind. That's what's in his mind. Come on.
Burned in their lust.
It's a lust. It's burned in it. Because a lot of people say, I was born homosexual. I got the gay gene. No. Psychology, they call it nature versus nurture. Meaning, you're a product of your environment. So if you were a little boy, for example, he was 5, and he's effeminate, meaning he likes to put on his mother's shoes or wear his mother's lipstick. If his mother doesn't correct it, right, he's gonna think it's normal. So then when he becomes 15, 16, now he's talking about, I like women. I don't like women. They showed you that in the movie Gun Hill Road. You ever seen Gun Hill Road? Okay, Gun Hill Road was basically a movie of a Puerto Rican father that was in jail, and his mother raised his son. And his mother never corrected him on his homosexuality. And when he grew up, he became very, very homosexual. It's to the point where he put butt implants in him, he put boob implants in him, and he really believed he was a woman in his mind. It was because nobody corrected him. And we have to correct our children when they're like this.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.